Recent arrest of a 90s sitcom star, Zachery Ty Bryan. A woman told officers Bryan punched her in the face multiple times. He's also accused of choking the victim with his arm around her neck.
A highway patrol lieutenant found a vehicle on the side of the road in the backseat asleep. Zachery Bryan.
I'm sorry, I like to drink.
Zachery Bryan allegedly assaulted his victim all over a phone charger, pulled her out of bed, began to choke her to the point she thought he was going to kill her.
She's a liar. She's a manipulating piece of shit. She thinks her shit doesn't stink, dude. She's the mother of my children.
If you guys remember the show Home Improvement, then you'll probably remember Brad Taylor, who was played by Zachery Ty Bryan. Well, now this man is in serious trouble after years of getting arrested, having violent interactions with his wife, and refusing not to drink and drive. It seems like Hollywood has destroyed this man, and he doesn't want to help himself. So let's get into it. This is such an unfortunate and random story that you guys asked me to cover. Home Improvement star Zachery Ty Bryan arrested for domestic violence. The 43-year-old, who's best known for starring on Home Improvement alongside Tim Allen and Patricia Richardson, was arrested in Myrtle Beach. Oh, damn. It went down in Myrtle Beach. Oh gosh, you know what that is. I've been to Myrtle Beach plenty of times and it's fine. It's just there's a lot of partying and some interesting parts. The arresting officer said the woman involved in the incident stated that she was harmed by Zachery and that the two lived together and have children in common. The woman told the officer that Zachery choked her and punched her in the face multiple times, and there were others involved who were inside the home during the incident. Oh, so did multiple people attack her? Now, Zachery told the officer that they got into an argument about the woman's drinking, and that's what I guess initially started the fight that then escalated. He claims he attempted to take the bottle from her and she refused and flailed it back and forth. And of course, Zachery was then arrested.
Well, warrants obtained by WMBF News are shedding new light on the recent arrest of a 90s sitcom star right here in the Grand Strand. Myrtle Beach police responded to the area of Monarch Drive on New Year's Day for a disturbance allegedly involving Zachery Ty Bryan. A woman told officers Bryan, who's of course known for playing Brad Taylor on the TV show Home Improvement, punched her in the face multiple times. He's also accused of choking the victim with his arm around her neck. Bryan told officers the two were arguing about the woman's drinking habits and claims he was trying to take a bottle away from her when she began, quote, flailing back and forth.
Now, there was a disturbing blind item that was released about Zachery. Let's read this blind item together. You guys can check out Blind Item Breakdown on Thursdays. It reads, at this point, the former long-running sitcom star will do anything for meth. Which you guys do not want to mess with meth. It gets very messy very quickly. And my heart goes out to people who are addicted to this drug because it is really hard on your body. This person wrote, he'll likely get out of jail this time around, at least. Another person writes, yeah, but it'll be like 3 months and then he'll serve a month and get released because of overcrowding. It does seem like a lot of people are being released because there are so many people in jail and in prison. Like, why are there it makes me sad for our country. There's such a mental health issue that there are tons of people incarcerated. Like, they've got the people out here incarcerated fighting the fires in California. And I don't know if this is true, but I read a report that they get paid like $1 an hour. But I mean, if you unalive someone, that's gonna come with the consequences. This person writes, when it comes to Zachery, he has an alcoholic face. I hope he gets help before he kills someone. Oh gosh. This person writes, arrested at 8:30 in the morning says a lot. I hope he gets help. Another person adds, I said the same thing when I read the article. It's one thing if you're leaving downtown at midnight and you're drunk, but it's still not acceptable. But to be 8:30 a.m. on a Friday morning is an entirely different connotation. This person has a different take. There's not really much lower to go. They keep showing this awful picture when he's in the news. Every time I see it, I think they're saying he died. Crazy to just throw your life away when you could just be quiet and live off savings and get some therapy and hire a car service. So many more options than what he does. You know what's wild? You could be walking down the street or headed to the grocery store and then bam, you're in an accident. Suddenly you're dealing with injuries, bills, and an insurance company that's doing everything in its power to give you the bare minimum. It's gotta feel so frustrating frustrating. Insurance companies always seem to pull the same tricks, offering you the lowest settlement possible. But here's where Morgan & Morgan steps in and changes the game. Morgan & Morgan isn't just another law firm. They are America's largest injury law firm, with 1,000 attorneys and offices in each state ready to fight for you. You don't have to deal with those insurance companies alone anymore because they've got your back. Take this for example. This year, they got a client in Florida at $12 million, way more than what the insurance company was offering. Morgan & Morgan doesn't settle. They will continue to fight until you get what you deserve. And here's the kicker. The whole process is as easy as ordering takeout. You can submit everything from your phone. No need for paperwork marathons or endless appointments. And with Morgan & Morgan, you only pay if you win. So if you've been injured or you know somebody, don't just sit there. You can head over to forthepeople.com/Sloan, or you can check out the link in my description below. It's fast, it's easy, and it's free unless you win. Morgan & Morgan is the team that fights for you because they're for the people. Thank you for sponsoring this video and enjoy. Now, because of these recent arrests, I decided to really look into this guy, and I found something interesting from 2007. You guys know I love when I can pull an old article out from the trenches. November 18th, 2007. Remember Zachery Ty Bryan from Home Improvement? No, I'll just tell you the story anyways. My sister told me last night that she met Mr. Zachery at a bar, and of course he was drunk. He went up to her and whispered in her ear, "Make love to me." He looked vaguely familiar, so she asked, "Haven't I seen you before?" And then her friends reply, "He's Zachery Ty Bryan." And she's like, "Oh, you're that guy from Tool Time." She knew that he was from Home Improvement, but she wanted to piss him off. Anyway, she told him to F off and walked away. A few minutes later, Zachery walked up to her again and yelled at her, "You're crazy. If you ever thought I would proposition you, I'm in love. I'm married. You probably got your shoes from Ross." She claims that my sister laughed and walked away. He came over again, put his arm around her and whispered in her ear, "Will you kiss me? I'm sorry I yelled at you. It's all okay, baby." She told him to then F off again and promptly left the bar. The whole kicker to this story is that my sister met up with our long lost cousin from my grandma's side, and he's friends with Zachery. Small world. What a random story. I'm here for it though. If you guys are still here, leave a comment below. Now, I think you guys can tell by some of those Reddit comments that Zachery has a history. This is actually the third time he has been arrested on domestic violence charges. And last year, he's also been arrested twice on DUI charges.
Well, it was last Friday when a highway patrol lieutenant found a vehicle on the side of the road in Custer County. In the backseat asleep, Zachery Bryan. The events that followed led to his arrest.
"I'm sorry, I like to drink."
According to the affidavit, it was the early hours of October 25th when Bryan was found sleeping in the back of his car in Custer County in western Oklahoma. The trooper talks to Bryan briefly before leaving and parking down the road. A short time later, Bryan drives away. The trooper follows, catching up with Bryan and pulling him over.
You know where you're at? Yeah, I do. Okay.
Bryan told the trooper he was intoxicated, and according to the affidavit, the trooper could smell it as well. Bryan admits he had too much to drink the night before and shouldn't have been driving, which is why he pulled off the road to sleep it off. The trooper asked Bryan if he felt he should be driving now after sleeping in his car. Bryan replied no.
You're being completely sober, 10 being blackout drunk. Where do you put yourself on that scale? It's probably still like a 5 or 6.
He was later arrested and taken to jail.
So clearly the Zachery guy is really going through it. Now, Zachery got his big break when he was cast as Brad Taylor on the ABC sitcom Home Improvement. Zachery said, "If you star in a TV show today, you could be in any film you want to, but back then it was the polar opposite." He says, "You were stigmatized as a TV star. No matter how good your audition was, you were never going to be taken seriously," which is actually very true. Back in the day, like movie stars were very different than TV stars. Zachery found it really difficult to find stability after Home Improvement wrapped. He says, "On the same token, you might get turned down on a bunch of projects, but you could go out at night and hang out with your buddies at Mel's Diner, and everybody knows you," which Mel's Diner is right off on Sunset. Such a random spot for him to bring up. In October 2020, Zachery was arrested for strangling his partner, Johnny, at that point, Johnny Faye Cartwright. It looks like Zachery agreed to a plea deal in a domestic violence case. Just to confirm, Johnny is a woman, and he says, "We got really loud. We were screaming because we're in a townhome and it had thin walls and everyone could hear." He claims that Johnny and him never got physical, but he was arrested, and at the end of the day, the police throw a bunch of counts at you because they ultimately want you to plead to something, he says. Now, because he attacked Johnny, there was consequences. He received 3 years of probation, which included attending a violence intervention program. program. As part of the deal, prosecutors agreed to drop 6 of the charges against him.
I just spoke with a neighbor of the victim, and he says he didn't hear anything coming from the apartment last Friday night, but he said he did witness a large police presence. But according to this 3-page affidavit, Zachery Bryan allegedly assaulted his victim here at the Tennyson Apartments in Eugene, all over a phone charger. In an interview with police, the victim says her and Bryan have been in a relationship for 2 years. She also says she was asleep in bed when Bryan came over and started screaming for his charger. She says that's when Bryan began to punch her. Bryan allegedly pulled her out of bed, and the two began fighting on the stairs. At one point, the victim says Bryan began to choke her to the point she thought he was going to kill her. A neighbor in the building tells me he's shocked about learning what happened that night.
I didn't hear like any actual violent stuff going on. I just noticed when the police came. And I wasn't the only neighbor. A few of us were outside looking like, why is there police here?
Police say Bryan was vague and evasive during his interview.
Even though they were in a toxic relationship, clearly they stayed together. And they actually got engaged in November 2021, and they've had 3 kids together. Now, Zachery did make a TV comeback in Netflix's 2022 series, The Guardians of Justice. But in June 2023, in a profile about Zachery, The Hollywood Reporter revealed that he was accused of running a fraudulent agricultural technology startup scheme. Several sources told the publication that Zachery would allegedly take individual payments ranging from $5K to $25K in exchange for fake contracts. Zachery was accused of earning close to $50,000 from this scheme. Now, Zachery told the news outlet that he's not running any shady scam, and he also addressed his past arrests, saying that they were learning experiences. Doesn't seem like he learned much. 1 month after the tell-all, Zachery was arrested in Oregon following a domestic violence dispute with a woman. He was charged with 2 felonies and 1 misdemeanor. Zachery pled guilty to felony assault in the 4th degree, constituting domestic violence in court during an October 2023 hearing. Instead of spending 19 to 20 months in prison, which he was sentenced, it turns out that he actually had 36 months of probation to go and serve instead, which sounds much better, and 7 days in jail. Johnny then broke her silence when it came to Zachery's legal troubles, telling Us magazine in August 2023, trauma can bring many struggles in many shapes and forms. It's a horrible situation that's going to be spun in many ways. I've learned firsthand the truth will never align with what's being put out there. I ask everyone to please respect our privacy for the sake of our children. Well, also, at this point, with all respect, Johnny, I am concerned for your children being in this kind of environment. Former co-stars started speaking out as well, telling The Hollywood Reporter that they had no idea what was going on with him, trying to distance themselves. Tim Allen said at a certain point he deviated from the guy I used to know, reacting to situations that I had nothing to do with and I can't control. He says, I don't know what happens when people get corrupted. You just don't know. That brings us to February 2024. Zachery was arrested for a suspected DUI with 3 or more priors, which at that point, just go get an Uber. A spokesperson told TMZ that the authorities stopped Zachery's vehicle at 2 a.m. because he was suspected of being involved in a traffic collision. He was, of course, showing signs of impairment, which led to his arrest. Here's a clip of his arrest and some of the footage of him in the back of a cop car.
You should go through the text message. She literally said, she's like, I'm gonna put you in jail.
Why?
I don't know, because she's a psychopath. Yeah. Yes, sir. Please arrest her. She's a liar. She's a manipulating piece of shit, dude. If you can do it to me, you can do it to her. I wasn't even around her the entire time. She went after me. She thinks her shit doesn't stink, dude. I'm not here to incriminate her. I'm here to, she's the mother of my children.
The way that he speaks about her, I just wish they separated when the first domestic violence situation went down. And I'm sure in hindsight, a lot of people in this situation would feel the same way. One person wrote on TikTok, never trust a man with 3 different names. Another person wrote, love it when these guys just keep on talking. He's going to use every word he says in court. Yeah, it seems like Zachery Ty Bryan is just digging his own grave. And it's really sad to see how a lot of these former stars just can't figure themselves out after Hollywood is done with them. I mean, I wonder what happened with the Netflix 2022 gig. I guess if it came out in 2022, he probably filmed it in early 2022 or like 2021. So I don't know if Netflix like kind of let him go or didn't want to work with him after all of these charges, but I really do feel for those children. Let's go ahead and open a PO Box package item. It's been a minute, but I got a bunch of packages to open up this week, and this is from C&D Beauty. Let's go ahead and check out what they sent me. You guys know I love to support your small businesses, so I will link everything in the comments below. And wait, the packaging is so nice. I'm so excited. Thank you, C&D Beauty. Look how official. You guys know I love good skincare. I was just in Asia and I got a bunch of stuff when I was there, so I am so excited. Plus my skin. You guys always compliment my skin, thank you, but I have a few breakouts, but I'm hiding them. I'm hiding them with my hair. Do you guys ever do that? If you just like have a breakout, you hide it? Sloan, C&D Beauty is a new makeup brand started by myself, Caroline, and my best friend, Diane. Danae. Look at me figuring out how to say the name. All of our products are clean, gluten-free, vegan, and infused with skincare. We love watching your videos. Thank you for keeping us entertained. Oh, thank you so much. It looks like if you use code SLOAN, SLOAN, you'll get 10% off. So definitely go and give their website a visit. Thank you for being you and giving your followers an opportunity like this. Aw. Gossip about us anytime. I love that. Thank you so much, Danae and Caroline. That is so sweet. Let's go ahead and check it out. Wait, are these them? Is that them? So cute. And I love how the name is C&D. So it's like both the best friends. We love a best friend like brand. Can you imagine having a brand with your best friend like working together if you actually like work together well? So we've got the SPF All Day Moisturizer, which this feels really heavy. I'm like, what is the packaging? Wow. So bushy. I'm so excited. We have, what is this? Oh, some gloss, some high gloss. We've got lash growth, which I have really long lashes already, but shoot, imagine if they're longer, they're going to go up to my forehead. C&D Beauty, C&D Beauty. What's this? It's like just a lip hydration, like a chapstick, which I'm always carrying around a chapstick. Look at my crusty lips right now. And then we've got the Glow Lock Makeup Setting Spray and a Glow Primer. Oh my gosh, you guys hooked it up. Thank you so much for all the skincare. Use code SLOAN if you want 10% off. And go and support a fellow subscriber. We love small businesses out here. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in a new video soon. Bye, guys.